Hello everybody, SlimKirby here. Welcome to my next Let's Play. I think it's time for some more Mega Man, and I know that I said I would be doing Mega Man 9 as my next Mega Man game, but I made a decision in regards to that. I'll be doing Mega Man 9 when the Legacy Collection 2 comes out for Switch. Just because I don't really want to go to another system and buy it when I think it just makes sense to get the Legacy Collection, and then that way I'll have not only Mega Man 9, but also Mega Man 10, even though I can probably get Mega Man 9 right now through other means. So that's what I'm going to be doing in regards to the Classic series, but I am still working on the Gameboy series, so I figured for my next Mega Man playthrough I'll go ahead and jump right into Mega Man 2 for the Game Boy. This was made in 1992. I believe it came out in between the creation of Mega Man 2 and Mega Man 3 on the NES, maybe a little after Mega Man 3, but regardless, it was around that time span. It came after the NES game, obviously, and it continues kind of the tradition that Mega Man Dr. Wily's Revenge set, where you kind of face half the Robot Masters from one of the Mega Man games, and you fight half the Robot Masters from the next Mega Man game. So we'll have 4 Robot Masters from 2, the 4 we didn't play in the NES version, or the 4 we didn't play in Mega Man 1 for the Game Boy, and then we'll also just have 4 Robot Masters from Mega Man 3 as well. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and get things started with Mega Man 2 for the Game Boy. Who the hell am I going to start with first? That's a very, very, very good question. So all these bosses, I think they've even been modified a little bit to be weak to each other, so there is a continuous cycle here. So it really doesn't matter who we start with. I think just because, you know, you're kind of used to it from the NES game, you want to start with Metal Man, so I'm going to go ahead and start with Metal Man. And yeah, let's go ahead and get things started. So I guess a little fun fact with me in this particular game is I first played this for retro achievements. I, did a lot of retro achievement streams back in the day. I really enjoyed retro achievements. It was a lot of fun. And I noticed that these games were on retro achievements, and I'm like, you know what? I like Mega Man. I've kind of gotten into Mega Man a little bit these days, so why don't I just do this game? And I kind of enjoyed the first one, Dr. Wily's Revenge. It was okay. I didn't hate it, for that matter. And, yeah, that's kind of what I decided to do. Then I played the second game. And I have to say, I really enjoyed the second game. I had a lot of fun with it. And, if anything, for a while, until I played Mega Man 5 for the Game Boy, this was actually my favorite Game Boy Mega Man. And out of curiosity, I was like, okay, I kind of want to see what reviews have been like for this game, because honestly, like, one of the things that I really liked about this Game Boy game is that it was kind of a perfect mixture where it had, classic Mega Man gameplay, but it was also, like, easy, but, like, maybe a bit too easy, but it was very accessible to players. So I thought that was kind of a unique thing. It's like, wow, why haven't I heard, like, a lot about this particular Mega Man game? I come to find out, not long after I did that stream, that apparently people really don't like this game. Which is weird, because I honestly really enjoyed it. I don't know if it's just because maybe people felt it was too easy. I mean, that could be an obvious thing. Some people like having a challenge. They don't like being, they don't like having their handheld in video games, especially video games like Mega Man. But still, like, I just found it really weird and interesting that, like, apparently Mega Man 2 for Game Boy, not very well liked. So yeah, I just always found that kind of interesting, how this was kind of not liked by people. I personally enjoy it, but, I'm not everyone, so... Okay. But yeah, I mean, as you can see, it doesn't look like this is too bad right now. This seems pretty simple. Haven't had to deal with anything too major yet, anyway. I mean, yeah, it looks like those guys are a lot slower than they are in the NES games, but, I can understand them wanting to make the difficulty a little easier, because, we're on the Game Boy here. We're not exactly on an NES. It's a smaller screen. The rooms themselves are kind of smaller to compensate for the smaller screen. They don't want to try to overflow the screen with too many enemies, for that matter, so... I have Rush Coil, right? Oh, no, I think I actually get that later. But yeah, another thing is, if you remember in Mega Man 2 for the NES, there were, like, those upgrades you could get, the ones that allowed you to kind of get to higher platforms. They just straight up have the rush parts in this game, which were introduced in Mega Man 3. And also introduced in Mega Man 3 was the slide, which Mega Man also has in this game. So I guess that's why I kind of like am not entirely sure about the release date of this, because it has the slide. And because of that, like, I was wondering, maybe they, like, decided on the slide in development of the third game, or, like, this came after the third game. I honestly do not know for 100% certainty. But yeah, the slide is here, and honestly, I like that. Honestly, like, the slide I think is really, really cool. It just allows you to duck under things and slide under things. It just makes things a lot easier, at least for me anyway. But yeah, we made it to the halfway point, which means we are going to fight our first robot master, which we know is Metal Man. So let's see how this fight goes. Wow, Metal Man seems like he's actually kind of difficult in this version. Okay, maybe not anymore. And he has kind of a pattern he's sticking with right now. I might still end up dying, though. Maybe not. Maybe not. One thing we don't have is we don't have the charged Mega Buster yet, so I believe that was introduced in 3. It was either introduced in 3 or 4. Ah, dang it. Okay. Well, if I had full health, I would have gotten him, no problem. It's weird, though. He kept, like, changing up his pattern a little bit. He kept, like, throwing 2 at the same time, then he just throwed 1 high, 1 low. It just kind of threw me off, I guess, a little bit. It is possible to not take damage, though, for sure. I can see the windows open up. Ah, come on. Okay, now I'm kind of in a good rhythm. And there we go. So that is our first Robot Master defeated. You got Metal Blade and Rush Marine. Okay, I know a stage where that's gonna come in handy. Not right now, but I think it'll definitely come in handy later. So with Metal Man's upgrade, we can actually use that to fight Woodman, so we're going to go there next. I think Woodman has a very funny design. I honestly really like Woodman's design. I think it's just hilarious. He's just like a giant tree stump. That's really all he is. And it's great. Oh, come on. Okay. Dude, homing carrots, really? I didn't know carrots have developed so far to get homing properties. But this is a video game. Okay, this will be a good way to get these bats out of the way. Oh, come on! I want you! Oh, dang it. Oh, right. Man, I don't feel like you jump really high in these Game Boy versions. I'm just gonna skip you then, if you're gonna be like that. Okay, no, I wanna be on the ladder. Maybe I'll get actual better luck with the extra life this time. That's not an extra life, but I will take that. There we go. Stupid homing carrots. That's not the way you should work. Also, that's kind of interesting. Taking a little bit of Needleman stage. Is that supposed to be like water underneath or something? Like, oh, hi, extra life. Maybe that's not water. Although it could be. It looks waterish. There's little ripples right there. Oh, it is water. Okay, so I could have used the Rush Marine for that. Interesting. Trying to get some use out of that early, I guess, before we get to the stages where it's actually more applicable. Okay. Should be about done with this. I'm not sure how I'm gonna, like, make videos lengthwise. I predict around 4 videos for this project, so a very short one. I mean, I believe the first Gameboy was only 3 videos. God, these stupid ostriches. I guess I could slide under them. Yeah, let's just do that. That makes more sense than trying to jump over them. And here we go. Let's go ahead and use Metal Man's weapon. You know, Metal Man against Woodman, that's always been a very sensible weakness. Take that. Because, yeah, I mean, metal blades, they chop wood in half. But, like, Woodman was also, I think, the most weak to the atomic fire, I believe, or whatever Heatman's weapon was in Megaman 2. And I mean that makes sense too, obviously, because fire, forests, wood, bad, you know, all that. I think I'll do one more. So these videos still might be on the little short side, but still, yeah, probably about 3 or 4 videos. We'll see. So we have Leaf Shield. I believe that's good for Airman. I always like Airman's design too. I like how he looks like very muscular, and he just has a giant fan and like on the, like his face area, I guess. Okay. I always hate this part of. Thank you for the one-up game. Thank you, thank you. Okay, as I was trying to say, I really hate these things in Airman stage. The little spikes at the edge of those platforms. It just seems really unnecessary. Oh god. Do I fall down more, or do I go this way? Okay, we keep falling. Ooh, hello. God, game being very generous with one-ups. That's probably why, like, I had such an easy time with this when I played this the first time. This one-up city. Oh my god! Game! Remember when I had 0 extra... Stop! I don't need 6! I entered this level with 1 extra life, and I have 6 now. Oh god. I mean, yeah, the game is easy, but like... Okay, I died. I lost 1 of my 6 lives. I'll probably get another one, like, immediately. I try to see if I can maybe get some to spawn out of the birds, which honestly I would not be surprised if that happened. Okay. I always hated this part in just the NES version of this game, too. Just this kind of cloud section. Also seems a lot longer than the NES version. Maybe just a little bit. Ouch. Let's keep going. Wait, what? Guess I was supposed to go this way still. Come on, get the... Okay, there we go. It's like, come on, get the thing. But there we go, I made it to the end. Okay, where's... wood? I want to see how hard his pattern is in this. Oh god, it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier because you can actually, like, find that window and jump through it, like, a lot quicker. Like, I still got hit right there, but, like, my god, he's a lot easier in this. Although I think Airman was easier in Mega Man 3, the Doc Robot version anyway. Just because, like, you had the slide you could work with. You didn't have that in 2, so, like, some of those wind gust patterns were a lot more difficult to dodge. But we get the air shooter and we get Rush Jet. And I think I'm actually going to stop this video right here. So next time, we'll beat up Crashman. And I guess start the next leg of the game. So see you guys then. Later, folks.